review, and later after that I will do around 20 cards, or 25, the remaining less than 8 cards frames. Okay, study now. Cry. So cry is one cries and cries until they are standing knee deep in water. Okay. Happenstance. That's the old taskmaster. Old taskmaster. Style. That's the craft of arrows, arrow shirts. Arrow. Cottage. Adds a touch of old and new. Umbrella. Shading lidded crock. Frost. That's the weather forces colluding their inner actions to allow only moisture, a tiny moisture, to come in before and fall to the ground before sudden freeze. Elder sister is the woman in the family tasked to go to the market for shopping. Tune. Words. Tunes don't only have the succession of melodies, but also the words that lap with them. Breed. An unwilling cow is willed into breeding position by a taskmaster. Revolve. The tires of a car revolving, spinning up a smoke, arousing clouds of smoke, of dust and smoke. Flourish. It's a tree in a schoolhouse. Bewitched. Bewitched by a woman witch. Drip. Water dripping on antiques. Turns out they are only painted aging. Painted aging. Wait. This is old. This is old. Okay. Sash. Sash is the buckle is on the apron. The buckle on the apron is at the sash. System. A system for slaughtering cows is system for slaughtering cows is get them tied to a belt and face a saber. Badge. That's the monumental sunflower protruding out of a vase attached to your lapel. Rebuke. That's truckers, meeting of butchers that shut down each other with words, cut each other off. Thunder. The best way to experience thunder is out in a rice field. Study. A kid is at school is for only one thing, that is to study. Lungs. That's a slab of flesh in the market. Apron. That's a towel decorated with crowns. Receive. Tall kids receive the most attention. Make a deal. That's standing on your motorcycle helmet and the legs and the mouth, the tools of making a deal any way you can. Legitimate wife, that's a wife that has become an antique. Superfluous. Superfluous is the crown with a vein. Antique primitive is the old vase under the glass hood that is very, very old. Market, that's wearing top hat and a towel and going to the market or strike a bargain or two. Army, that's the chariot. Renunciation, that's a wise, acquiescent, sovereign. Sovereign, yeah, to let go. Rain. Stagnate, being attached to something for too long. Stagnate, stagnant like water that has stopped moving. Stagnant. Let it crock, clay. On the mouth of a potter. Monkey. A monkey has captured a pack of wild dogs and put them in a lidded crock with a scarf bound and give them to the dog catcher. Bridge, that's made out of tree trunks that's shaped into angels. Ponte degli Angeli. Bell is made out of metal, sheet metal, bellowing like juveniles who don't get away with their own. Don't get with their own way. Demolition. Razed to the ground the apartment complex by the ghost who wears fine garments woven so fine that they pass through the eye of a needle. Rising clouds. Hanging scroll. It's the towel of the old wealthy guy that has died and is auctioned off as a hanging scroll. Schoolhouse primitive. What's this? Back. At the back of a top hat and a scarf, there is a computer woven into them like spyware. Cloud. That's the weather. Rising cloud. Brocade. Scraps of metal, gold metal, and white towel. Make primitive version of a brocade. To write is moving the brush with what the sage is saying. Crown primitive is this. Brush primitive. It's the teeth, the hairs of the brush, and the thumb and the finger. The index finger, yeah. Capital. That's the tall buildings, skyscrapers, and the little people. Why? Two teenagers standing, vying the attention of their peers. Attractive. As a woman that is like an angel. Cram school. That's where tall kids and round ones are on the ground playing sports. Enemy. Stepping antiques over will make you an enemy for life. Taskmaster. Okay. Unlikable taskmaster. Enemy. Consent. The words of the young are invalid unless they are parental consent is given by parents. Ice primitive 2 dots. Persimmon is the tree in the market. Admonish is you talking in flowery language. While the other one is talking with regular words. Towel is cloth wrapped around the pole. Read. Words nowadays are out to sell you something or a point of view. Sail made out of towels is only mediocre. Pupil, juvenile in the eye. So eye, juvenile. Scenery, that's the sun going over the capital. It's quite a bit of scenery that the capital dwellers don't see often. Revise, that's your words nail down in the draft and revise them. Winter, that's slipping, your walking legs slipping on ice. Suitable, antiques in the middle of the street are not suitable. Antiques in the middle of the road is not suitable. Cap, a towel. You use it to mitigate the risk of looking into the sun. Elucidate, that's talking in whole words as opposed to broken words. Made in, that's a systemization of the garment industry. Systemization of the garment industry. Stand up. Thorns. Thorns grow on a tree, around a tree like a bilt, and cut into it like saber. Little sabers, yeah. First time reading comic books, it was Cloak and Dagger. Technique. Technique is the secret technique of sprouting flowers out of rising smoke, turning rising smoke into flowers. Sovereign, wearing the apron. Too sovereign has no problem wearing the apron and helping his wife. Belt, this. Heavens. Tailor, that's Thanksgiving garments. Canopy, making canopy out of towels. You still get rays of the sun. Top hat, primitive. Circumference by measuring circumference using knitted crock. Circumference of motorcycle. Gentleman, broad-shouldered, slender-waisted. Recitation, that's words, recitation of poems. Words take you to eternity, to eternal world, where rules of life are suspended. Sell, is everybody is out. Oh, it's the samurai going door to door selling headless monarch. Irrigate the farmers, asking the witch to sprout water to help irrigate their goods, their crops. Linen, that's the maid with linen towels on her side, distributing linens. Garment, that's a top hat and a scarf. Curtain, that's the graveyard. With a towel at the entrance, making it a curtain to the other world. Good luck. Good luck is the samurai standing with his mouth open, and people come look down to it for good luck. Mellow, that's the tall kids. And the round ones put in a cauldron on fire until they mellow and go back to the normal human life. Pathetic, that's a top hat, guzzling mouth, and a scarf. Distant. A distant thing on the road, looks like lidded crock. Too blurry, looks like lidded crock with a scarf. Shoot, not. Angel, primitive. It's the tall witch. Imperial edict. That's words to seduce the masses, either with respect or fear. Villa. That's flowers guarded by turtle samurais. Cloudy weather. So cloudy weather. That's the sun being blocked by clouds. Refreshing. That's the entire capital taking a cold shower. From the very one. Juvenile. It's a juvenile hacker standing on a computer, jumping up and down because it refused to work. Isn't it? Yeah. Attire is sweater. The turtle samurai sweater. Turtle samurai sweater garment. Haven. That's the water inlets created by the all-merciful with his brush to save the boats in the wild sea. Obituary, that's words. Be like magic wand, bringing the deceased back. Robust, that's the turtle samurai. Likeness. So, likeness is when woman talks about you. House primitive. Fish guts. River. It's water that can. Lamp. That's fire. Nailed. Bribe. Money. Possessing. Rising sun. Sun with measuring box. Oh, this is rise up. Rising sun is the baseball bat with the sun. Rising sun. Baseball bat with the sun. Okay. I'm gonna say it's good because it's just need to be left. Left is D is the computer. Farm, that's fire. And rice field. Banquet, that's an entire day of work before the woman can relax. Pressure, that's cliff over the soil. Wealth, primitive, it's one mouth feeding an entire rice field. Tool, it's the eye. Gland, that's what part of the body that springs. Lake, it's water. Old fish. Fishing, that's water. Fire, too primitive. Evening, overnight. Water and white sheets. Concave, fish. Bound up, rice field. Complete, duck, baby tucked. Neck, horns, and arms hanged. Buddhist temple. Soil. Name. Name whispered in. Seduced by sword. On the mouths. Shining. Sun seducing. Tribute. State. Draft of money. Woman. sword, eternity. Oh. Seal. Then cut. Wealth. All that wealth under one house. Sand. Rocks. Anxiety. Fire. Head. Yonder. Extraterrestrial. Extraterrestrial pointing to this. One other extraterrestrial pointing to his spaceship yonder. It's this way. Stinking. Stinking, that's mouth. Nose of saber. Ah, shoot. Nose of saber. Done. Okay. Before we go on, let's do the other way around, which is kanji to keyword. Let's do. Okay. Prison. Whirlwind primitive. System. Haven. Tall. Distant. Chastise. Revolve. Imperial edict. Rain. Lungs. Belt primitive. Dream. Revise. Heavens. Make a deal. Say. Top hat primitive. Stand up. Elucidate. Technique. Bewitched. Admonish. Robust. Brocade. Garment. Memorize. Awe. Demolish. Demolition. Frost. Cottage. Irrigate. Study. Army. Towel. Aggression. Taskmaster primitive. Recitation. Canopy. Refreshing. Market. Poem. Happenstance. Pathetic. Ice primitive. Pupil. Bell. Tail. Antique primitive. scenery, made in, radiance, badge, apron primitive, back, winter, receive, cry, consent, mellow, discussion, discuss, yeah. Suitable, order sash, stagnate, first time, thorns, angel primitive, capital, persimmon, crown, weak, gentleman, cloud, legitimate wife, whale, obituary, crown primitive, reed, elder sister, linen, pavilion, drip, villa, superfluous, enemy, schoolhouse primitive, good luck, cell, Hades, pit, monkey, tailor, bridge, circumference, hanging scroll, sash, rebuke, tune, sheet of, sail, carry, plot, right, attractive, failure, rising cloud primitive, flourish, instruction, lidded crock primitive, attire, cap, vi, cram school, brush primitive, elder sister, breed, juvenile, thunder, curtain, sovereign, renunciation, word, cloudy weather. Quantity. Petition. Fishing. Very. Left. Water. Inflammation. Hood primitive. Lively. Town. Cape. Wealth. Street. Disaster. Spring. Ray. Proclaim. Eventide. Can. Tide. Stream. Marsh. Few. Thick. Tool primitive. Creek. Smash. Lake. Meadow. Character. Resemblance. Swim. And done. Cool. Very nice. Yeah. 93 cards. Stats. Alright. See, lesson 8. We have it's gonna 476 to, yeah, maybe let's do 20 now. Yeah, let's do 20 now. Okay. Add. Okay. And let's do this. So starting from 476. Spoon. Okay, this character, a pictograph of a spoon, is easy enough to remember, provided you keep it distinct from from that for 7, where the first stroke is written left to right, as the opposite. 7, yeah, it's 7. It's left to right, and then this here it's right to left, and yeah. And cuts yeah, okay. As primitive, this kanji can take the additional meaning of someone sitting on the ground, of which it can also be considered a pictograph. In general, the second stroke does not cut through the first, or if it does, in some fonts, only slightly. Okay. Okay. Spoon. Mouth spoon is scald. Recall some particularly harsh scolding you got as a child in school. This character has you sitting on the ground in the corner as your teacher stands over you with her mouth wide open as she reprimands you in front of the entire class. Okay. Scold. Mouth. And child sitting. Okay. Aroma. You will have to imagine capturing a favorite aroma by having it gagged and bound up in a spoon. Aroma gagged and bound up in a spoon. About that time. When Uncle Bob starts his comic routine of sticking spoons on his head, you know it is about that time to come up with a reason to excuse yourself. Okay. About that time is when Uncle Bob starts sticking spoons to his head. About that time to leave. North. The cold air from the north is so strong that we see two people sitting on the ground back to back, their arms interlocked so that they don't blow away. Pay special attention to the drawing of the first 3 strokes. Okay. North, the wind of the north is so strong, people sitting back to back with their arms interlocked so that they don't blow away. Okay. Stature. One's stature is measured according to the northernmost part of the body. Okay. Stature. One's stature is measured according to the northernmost part of the body. Okay. Compare. With 2 spoons, one in each hand, you are comparing your mother's cooking with your mother-in-law's. with 2 spoons, one in each hand. You're comparing your mother's cooking to your mother-in-law. Let's compare. 2 spoons. Descendants. By comparing apes with anthropoids, we not only discover the latter have. This is a reminder. By comparing apes with anthropoids, we not only discover that the latter have descended from the progenitors educated in higher branches, but that the very idea of seeing everything descended from everything else, one way or another, means that there is nothing new under the sun. Comparing under the sun is descendant. Nothing new under the sun. Descendants. Compare white. All. Think of the housewives in TV conventions comparing the whiteness of their laundry across the fence. A typical advertisement for popular detergent known as All. If you don't know the brand, surely you've heard of Praise's all-purpose detergent or all-temperature detergent. Okay. All. Compare of. All is compare white. All-purpose, yeah. Detergent compare white. Block letters. Block letters. The keyword refers to kanji that are written in full squared form as opposed to cursive writing. Block letters, okay. As opposed to cursive writing, which is more flowing and abbreviates some of the strokes. Here, block letters are pictured as tidy rows of trees that are all the same size and can be read easily by all. However, calligraphic skills, whatever calligraphic skills they possess. Okay. Trees that can be read by all. Block letters, okay. Okay. Orderliness. Orderliness. The harmony of a place for everything and everything in its place. Place for everything and everything is a place is applied here to the orderliness of all the words one speak. Orderliness is harmony, a place for everything, for all the words one speaks. Place for everything and everything in its place. Orderliness. Okay. Mix. Mixed marriages in this character suggest water down the quality of one's descendants. Quality of one's descendants, the oldest racial nonsense in the world. Okay. Mixed race, mixed water down the quality of the descendants. Mix. Okay, now I'm more than 10 over a ton. Yeah, it's 487. I wanted to do like 496, right? Yeah, up till 496. And then would start a new primitive. Cool. Would be done for the primitive for spoon. Okay, so this one is primitive. Yeah, it doesn't copy. Let's see. Copy to cancel. Copy, take screenshot, and this is the screenshot. Copy to clipboard, and paste. Siesta. Conjure up the classic portrait of the Latin siesta. A muchacho sitting on the ground popped up against some building, bound up from the neck to ankles in a serape. One of those great broad-rimmed mariachi hats pulled down over his face, and the noonday sun beating down overhead. Always use the complete image, never simply in the general sense of siesta. What the hell is siesta, though? Afternoon rest or nap? Okay. Classic portrait of the Latin siesta. Muchacho, sitting on the ground, popped up against some building, bound up from the neck to ankles in serape. Serape is like a shawl or blanket worn as cloak in Latin America. Yeah, okay. Siesta, okay. Sun. Okay. Next. Water siesta is thirst. As you pass by the muchacho taking the siesta, he cries out that he is thirsty and asks for something to drink. So you turn the water hose on him. Turn the water hose on. Water on siesta, muchacho. Thirst. This is primitive, not a kanji. Okay, audience. Imagine an audience with the emperor or the pope, in which all those in attendance are sitting down, leaning against the wall, sleeping like our muchacho on siesta, as the honorable host delivers his speech. Okay, speech, and everybody taking a nap. Siesta. Okay. Brown. So garment. Oh. The color of the serape or cloak of our muchacho on siesta is dull brown. The color of this kanji indicates. Okay. The color of the serape or cloth, the muchacho in our story is brown. Horse. When the muchacho on the siesta looks up and opens his mouth to talk, his voice is so hoarse you cannot understand him. Yeah. The sound when the muchacho opens up his mouth to speak, his voice is so hoarse you cannot understand. Kudzu. Kudzu is a word taken over from the Japanese to name the crawling vines that creep up and completely take over trees. Seeing it as its worst in the Georgia countryside makes it easy to understand why it has a reputation as the plague of the South. From here, it should not be hard to arrange primitive slower siesta and into a memorable image. Okay, South, siesta in the South, flower, siesta is kudzu. Kudzu, kudzu. Delicious. Delicious is spoon over day. Something is so downright delicious that one spends an entire day with a spoon in hand gobbling it up. Okay. Final three. Fat. This kanji tells us that if you need the flesh with too many delicious, if you feed the flesh, this kanji tells us that if you feed the flesh with too many delicious things, it soon picks up a thick layer of fat. So part of body, delicious, become fat. Thick layer of fat. Okay. Speak delicious is visit a shrine. Visit shrine. Here you see savor your words as something delicious when you describe your recent visit. Here you savor your words as something delicious when you describe your recent visit to a shrine or a pilgrimage site. Visit a shrine is savor your words something delicious as visiting a shrine or pilgrimage site. Okay, add. Last one. I1. Roman. The Roman numeral I, like that for 2 we met earlier in frame 379, is only rarely used now. In the midst of all the samurai, we notice one in particular sitting on the ground with a crown on his head, indicating that he is number 1 in the current rankings. So samurai, amidst all the samurai, there is one with the crown sitting in the ground. Yeah, with a crown. This is number 1. Okay. That's it. These are the 20 kanji. Okay. Let's see how much we retained from the mental images that we have constructed. Okay. Click start new. All right, so we have 44. Okay, let's do rebuild and study now. I1, so that's amongst the samurai, there is one sitting on the ground with a crown. Must be number 1. About the time is when your uncle starts sticking spoons to his head. It's about the time you leave. Kudzu, it's when flowers take over trees in the south. So the south is siesta. Kudzu. Mix is mixing, waters down the descendants. Scold. It's the mouth and the child sitting in the corner. Delicious. It's with a spoon eating all day. Descendants. It's unknown you under the sun. Compare. Compare under the sun, nothing new. Descendants. Aroma, that's bound up in a spoon. Thirst, it's water asked by the siesta. Brown, that's the color of the cloak the siesta guy, Chacho, is wearing. Block letters, that's letters read by all. Letters read by all. Spoon. Horse. Mouth around siesta. Horse. North. They are sitting back to back. Wind in the north is too strong, sitting back to back, arms locked. Stature. One stature is measured by the northernmost part of the body. Visit a shrine. Savor your words. Savor your words. Something delicious. Compare 2 spoons to compare your mother's cooking and your mother-in-law's. Siesta. It's the afternoon sun, bound up, sitting and taking a nap. Good to go. Fat. If you keep feeding the body delicious things, it will grow a layer of fat. Orderliness, that's words, everything in its place. Words are all, yeah, all about orderliness. Okay. Audience, that's speech, and everybody is taking a nap. That's the audience taking a nap. All. Comparing all purpose detergents, whiteness of all purpose detergents. I, samurai, and one of them is just sitting with a crown. He is number one. Okay, let's renew. About that time, when your uncle starts sticking spoons to his head, it's about the time you leave. Scold, mouth, and child on the corner, in the corner. Thirst. A muchacho taking a siesta, asking you for water. You open the hose on him. Kudzu, flower, taking over trees in the south. It's plague of the south. Descendants, it's watering down. Descendants are nothing new under the sun. Compare under the sun, there's nothing new under the sun. Delicious, eating it with a spoon all day long. Aroma, that's bound up in a spoon. Is it a primitive? Not sure. Is aroma primitive? I don't think so. No, it's not. Okay, so it is a correct kanji. Okay, spoon and spoon is also a kanji. Okay. Mix, watering down, descendants. Mixed races, watering down, descendants. Brown, it's the color of the cloak of the siesta napping muchacho. North, the wind in the north is too strong. They sit back to back with arms interlocked so that they don't get blown away. Stature is measured by the most part of the body. Block letters. Trees that everybody can read. All can read. All. Horse. That's when the muchacho opens his mouth. His mouth is too hoarse for you to understand anything. Visit a shrine. Your words. Savor your words as if it is something delicious. Fat. Keep feeding flesh something delicious. Delicious things. It will grow a layer of fat. Orderliness. Words, everything, a place for everything, and everything in its place. All things are in order. All. Compare. 2 spoons to compare your mom's cooking and your mother-in-law's. Siesta, primitive. Sun and the bound up napping muchacho. Audience, speech going on, and if all the audience are taking naps. All is comparing the whiteness of the clothes detergents, all-purpose detergents. Done. Okay, let's do this now. Study. Orderliness. Thirst. Horse. Delicious. 1. Roman numeral. Kudzu. Spoon. Stature. Visit a shrine. Brown. About that time. Siesta, primitive. Mix. Aroma. Descendants. Audience. Compare. Fat. Scold. North. All. Block letters. 1 Roman numeral. Kudzu. Aroma. Audience. North. Orderliness. Brown. Horse. Visit a shrine. Spoon. Siesta primitive. Compare. Thirst. Mix. Stature. Delicious. About that time. Descendants. Block letters. Fat. Scold. All. Okay, and done. Sync. And yeah. Okay. Okay, so 497 till 514. See, 7 times 3 equals 21, right? Lesson 20 till 56. These are 3/4 of the book, right? I know 20 to 27, 20 to 26, I believe, is another third of the book. 27, yeah. So 8 lessons. So 8 by 3 is 24, right? So every 8 is like so 1/650 would be around 35, lesson 35, or by the end of lesson 35. Let's see. Lesson 35. No. 1/650 is at lesson. Wait. 45. Wait, what? No. 35. Here, 1/650 is at lesson 40. So by lesson 20, by ending lesson 19, so lesson 1 to 19, this is first 25% of the kanji, of the joy of kanji. And then 26, this is 50% up to here. Yeah, so here it means 50%, and then 27 to 39, and then 40 to 6. These are 100%. This is 70. Yeah. Okay. +27 +8. Yeah. So this is 13, this is 15, and this is like just 7 lessons. No, these are not 15. What? 17. Yeah. 17 lessons. Okay. So yeah, the coming 7 lessons are gonna be very dense. Very, very dense. Until lesson 8. So tomorrow I will be done with 19. Right, tomorrow. Tonight I will have another 20 of lesson 8, and tomorrow the entire 40 of lesson 19. and then move on. Yeah, that will conclude the first part of the book, which is 2 parts, which is just 25% of the entire book. The rest of the book is just repeating the actual primitives. I don't know if that's gonna be useful or not, but it's gonna spend the entire 2/3 of the entire 3/4 of the book. Let's see if it's gonna be worth it or not. Okay, thank you for